Hello and welcome to this special program. We are here at the Radisson Blue Hotel, whereby we will host Mrs. Yewande, hosting a USA-based singer, artist, but also an ambassador, a cultural ambassador to the USA. She's also an activist. She will tell us more about some of her works, and of course, she will go into details why she has come here to Rwanda. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks so much for having me. I am.
Welcome to Royal TV and of course to the Thousand Hills country, Rwanda.
Thank you.
How have you been?
It's been an absolute joy to be here in Rwanda. I've never been before.
Since when did you come here?
Just a couple of days ago. I was working in the Congo and then came over to Rubavu and then finished in Kigali with the US Embassy.
You are most welcome. Have a seat.
Thank you. Okay.
Mrs. Yewande, welcome again to Royal TV and to the Thousand Hills country, Rwanda.
Thank you.
If I start by asking you, since when did you come to Rwanda and why maybe you are here?
Well, I was invited by the U.S. Embassy in Kinshasa to produce youth empowerment programming in the Congo first, and then the U.S. Embassy in Kigali also asked me to come since I was so close to produce some of the same programs for youth and artists right here in Kigali.
You came all the way from the States, crossing maybe oceans, deserts,
yes,
and you are here in Rwanda. How did you find it?
I loved it. Rwanda and the Congo are genuinely not places that I had identified beforehand. To date, we've produced programs in 16 countries around the world. 11 of them have been across the continent of Africa alone. But Africa is a vast land, and so while I would love to get to every country, very often we only produce programs if we have a good presence of resources there to partner to make the programs most effective. And so I didn't have those relationships before. One of the very reasons that I really treasure the relationship with the U.S. State Department and the U.S. embassies that value my work. So it was the perfect partnership, and I couldn't turn down an opportunity to come and do what I love, and that is to change lives.
I am aware that you spent a night here in Kigali, the Rwanda's capital. What did you like most about Rwanda?
Oh, there's nothing that I don't like about Rwanda, from the lush green landscapes and the beautiful people to the really good samosas.
You've enjoyed samosas.
Oh, I love samosas. Love samosas and lechugado. The two of my favorite things. And vitalo.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you know about Rwanda before you came here?
I knew some about Rwanda, I did, but not as much as I've learned since I've been here. I think one of the most important things that I've learned about the people of Rwanda is their undying faith and courage. I have met children who have come after the genocide, but live with families that are still clearly traumatized by what happened here years ago. I understand, yes, that's right. And so I understand it takes a while for the country not only to rehabilitate, but also for the people to feel safe and secure. We've talked a lot about dreams during my time here with the youth, and we use music and the arts to reinforce their ability to not only put their dreams within closer reach, but learn the tools that they need to overcome obstacles, socioeconomic issues that impact them, from HIV/AIDS prevention to gender-based violence, preventing teen pregnancy, alcohol abuse. But they have an opportunity to express their own perspective through music and the arts. We found it's a powerful tool for healing, and one that the kids are very responsive to. Rwanda has a lot of talent.
And now this takes me to some of your work. In your work, I've been trying to go to the internet, like looking at some of your work. The message you give, you talk about poverty, war, racism. Those are the message that, if I would say, some of your career-mate artists shy away from. Why?
I believe it's just somehow God made me that way. I think there are those of us that feel comfortable in safe places where we don't have to confront the ills that we don't like to see. And then there are those of us who run into darkness. And I, for one, am grateful that God made me that way. I, for years, have produced programs in areas where some of the most horrific human atrocities take place. And while you can never get accustomed to seeing impoverished communities, working with people that have been oppressed, I very quickly see, yes, on the outside, I see poverty like everybody else does and suffering, but I love being able to find the beauty that lives in the midst of that. Some of the most courageous, brightest people I've ever met in the world live in poverty, but they simply don't have access to the tools like education or health care or job skills that they need to lift themselves out of poverty. And so that's what my humanitarian organization, the Change Rocks Foundation, does. We go in and strategically teach tools that we know people will need to break the cycle of poverty. Because what we realize in every country where we've worked is that the government isn't doing everything that they need to do. With all the NGOs that exist, they still have not collectively or individually eliminated poverty. And so together we can make a big difference. But what I do tell the children and any adults that I work with in impoverished communities is that no one is going to save you. You're lucky if there are people that will come in and help you along the way, but our goal always is to empower them with the tools they need to break the cycle. And the results of that are really quite astonishing. There is great pride in having more confidence and the ability to be better than what you thought you could be before. So when we eliminate the excuses, when we reduce the disparities, here you have a child or a man or a woman that see themselves now not as victims but as victors.
It's really surprising that the message you give is totally different from what maybe other artists give, those who sing about love, about being insulting each other, if I would say, when it comes to the Western culture, if I would say. But how come maybe some of your fellow artists don't go maybe, or don't imitate you, if I would say, don't preach that message of love, of maybe helping the needy?
Yes. That's a good question, and I don't want to speak for other artists because I don't think that that would be fair. What I can say, having come from the entertainment industry side, is that I was always singing songs about social justice. As soon as I realized that I had a talent for songwriting and that I could make a career out of music, my very first song was about a homeless man called Rufus. It went, saw Rufus on the train standing 6.5. He was tainted in rags with hope in his eyes. Looked like it could be a star, but you know how looks are. He stares into the door. What does he see? It's a mirror of what Rufus used to be. And so on and so forth. Yeah, really hold on to that train, Rufus. Don't know what's in store for you. Hold on to that car, oh Rufus. Know your time is coming through. It was a song about hope, but we recorded that song, some producers and I initially, and we took that song to record labels, and all of their responses were very similar. That's a nice song, but nobody wants to hear about social justice. Nobody wants to hear about a homeless man. Nobody wants to hear about kids that are starving or suffering in other countries. I was constantly encouraged to sing songs that fit within a formula in the industry. So songs that were like with dance beats, or clubbing, that reflected messages of fancy cars and jewelry and women. And unfortunately, the industry is really very, very small. And there are certainly some incredible artists out there who have wonderful messages and great talent. But it's really just a very small fraction comparatively to those who do promote messages of being wealthy, having women in fancy cars. That's what you should aspire to, celebrity. And so once they have a formula that's been created, the entertainment industry is a business. If you don't fit within that formula, then you may not be encouraged. So I think that there are some artists, perhaps, that feel pressured that in order to succeed, I have to sing about messages that are attractive to the industry and that will make money. But money has never been important to me, so I just always figure I'll be taken care of if I do what I love doing.
And since you decided to follow that path, would you say that you've been successful or you have achieved what you wanted really to achieve?
I will never be fully happy with what I've achieved because I tell you, as soon as I have mastered some new theory or a lesson that I'm teaching, I will go back and revamp it all, and I'm always learning, I'm always researching, I'm always wanting to do better. The programs that I did here, I'll go back and redo social entrepreneurs and how to celebrate each of their unique talents and put a plan around it, a business model that they can leverage in the future to be financially independent. So to date, we've worked in 16 countries around the world with over 250,000 young people as well as adults, and we're just growing. Right now we have a wait list of requests from 16 organizations in 14 more countries. So
that's really impressive.
I appreciate it.
You are trying to achieve a lot. Like, let's talk about some of your works which you also encourage some artists or other celebs to use the platform they have to teach maybe justice and music.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, when we talk about using music in the arts, I think most people think that we are entertaining the kids. And yes, music and the arts do entertain, but they also have the power to heal. Through my research, I've identified a minimum of 10 important areas of human development that are actually stimulated by using music and the arts. So while we use it as a delivery method, what we're really doing is trying to challenge people to think creatively about how to solve problems, both simple and complex problems. Is the problem that I have a leaky faucet and that's running up the water bill, and so how do I resolve that? Is the problem much like a young man in Namibia that I've come across that created a telephone that doesn't require a SIM card? What is the problem? How can I creatively use my knowledge and my experiences, even my challenges? Because many of the children tend to think that because they live in communities that exist in poverty and oppression, that there's no way they could break that cycle. What I challenge them to understand is that because you live in poverty, you actually have greater sensitivity and insight as to how to resolve those problems. So once they're given a structure in which to apply that knowledge, they soar. When I was in the Congo, we had an incredible opportunity also to work with professional artists in the area, and I taught them also how to use music and the arts as a tool for social justice in the Congo. The same applies here in Rwanda, except for children, getting them to start thinking about how they can use the things that they love and their strengths and multiple disciplines to creatively come up with sustainable solutions.
Let's take now this opportunity maybe to have you singing one of your songs.
Oh, well, if I do that, I'm probably going to need my musician to play with me. You think it's possible?
Yeah, maybe just a cappella.
A what?
A cappella.
A cappella? You want a cappella? Okay. All right, so I will do more. So this is a song that was written by a musician and my producer, Mark Baldwin. His production company is called Musical Minds. And when I heard this piece, I knew it was something that I had to write to. It inspired me to sing about many of the courageous children that I've worked with across Africa. It hasn't been recorded yet, so you all are getting a sneak preview. But he produced the track, I wrote the melody and the lyrics to it, and it's something that we've been sharing with youth across the country. So, let's see. I gotta think about it, okay, some more. I just drew a blank. Oh, no pressure. Morning comes, okay. Okay, Morning comes a little late. Got no need to celebrate. No, no, I can't seem to see my fate. Pain has blinded every way, so I gotta get up and face the day. No more complaining, I gotta face me. I want more than I was before. No more excuses, I've made up my mind. I want more than I was before. I'm getting out the way, watch me soar. I want more.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Maybe you have some few minutes with when you are having your musician, maybe to play the guitar.
I would love that. I'd love that. Yes? Okay.
Thank you very much for talking to Royal TV. Unless you have something else to maybe to talk about some of your work, maybe I think we've not maybe talked about in this interview.
I think that there is so much work to be done and so much that I have achieved, but the one message, if I don't accomplish this, then I don't feel like my job has been done. The greatest message that I could ever tell any child that has lived through any form of oppression is that they don't have to be defined by their circumstances. It was a really important lesson that my mother taught me when I was a little girl, and one that I can't stress enough to young people, but that they can also, through hard work and perseverance, they can actually be better than they ever thought was possible, sometimes because of where we come from and the challenges that we've overcome. So if you are still here on this earth and breathing, then you are a survivor and anything is possible. So that's, I think, the most important thing to convey. Anything is possible if you believe.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hey, 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 yeah. Mornings come a little late. Ain't no room to celebrate, no, no. I can't seem to see my fate. Pain has blinded every way, but I gotta get up, hey, and face the day. No more complaining, I gotta face me. I want more than I was before. No more excuses, I made up my mind. I want more than I was before. I'm getting out the way, watch me soar. I want more. Tomorrow promises no man. If you want to change, then you must take a stand. If you believe, you cannot fail. If you see the light of day, then all is well. So you gotta get up, hey, and face the day. No more complaining, I gotta face me. I want more than I was before. No more excuses, I've made up my mind. I want more than I was before. I'm getting out the way, watch me soar. I want more. Pada know what we can win. The meal today is suffering, with the sign of pain too bitter to bear. Death is all around, I smell it in the air. If you wanna change, you got to stay true to what the people were born to do. Come together so we can win. Stop the fighting and kill the sin. Pada know what we can win. The meal today is suffering, with the side of pain too bitter to bear. Death is all around, I smell it in the air. If we wanna change, we got to stay true to what the people were born to do. Come together so we can win. Stop the fighting and kill the sin. But first it starts with me. I want more than I was before. No more excuses, I've made up my mind, I want more than I was before. I'm getting out the way, watch me soar. I want more. I'm getting out the way, I want more than I was before. No more excuses, I've gotta face my pain. I want more. Hey!